It is the Sports Cage. It is Thursday. Barney Shynkaruk, Sharky here, Colson and Allen. 3 hours for you. Are you following the social medias? If not, that's what you got us for. Allegedly, reports are Jake Maier has signed a 1-year contract with the Saskatchewan Roughriders. We'll talk about that in a bit. What a fitting day to have head coach of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Corey Mace, on the program about 3:30 p.m. local time. Also, hour 2, Arash Madani. Arash is going to want to talk about Rick Campbell. He's back in Ottawa as the special teams coach.
Did he have any contract left in BC?
So you go head coach, back to special teams coach. I want to get into that in a bit. Just a second.
Okay.
Hockey Day in Saskatchewan coming up. We'll touch on that. Hey, the biggest youth flag football league in North America, especially when it comes to per capita, is right here in Regina, Saskatchewan. Monday was the day that parents, their heads fall off. Things are on fire trying to register your kid for flag football. This year, it was a staggered entry, and there are some age divisions, like usual, that still have some room. Mike Thomas is going to join us in hour 2 from the Flag Football League. He's got everything. He's also from Football Saskatchewan. We'll talk to Mike about that. Hour 3, we got Glen Suitor. We'll talk hockey. And Sharky, at some point along the next 3 hours, is going to do his university report. Talk about the U of R Cougars, and he's got a prop. So if you're watching the stream again today, he's turned into prop guy. Sharky brings props when he's on, and I'm fine with it.
It looks good. Yeah, it covers my bald head or otherwise my bad shirt, and it looks good. I like it.
Well, this one has nothing to do with your head. That is the tease.
I forgot the hat at home today.
You can find that stream at sportscage.com. Hammer the subscribe and like button. Thank you very much.
Where are we at now?
If you can't, we're well over 1,000. Climb into 2,000.
1,004?
1,000, no, more than just more. It doesn't give us the exact number. At least it doesn't give me. I don't have all the credentials. I don't have all the passwords to get into things around here.
Doesn't he?
And I'm fine with that. It's like, no, I don't need to know. I'm on a need-to-know basis as I get older.
That's not something you need to know.
As you get older in life, you find out that you just want to.
No, you don't care.
I just want to be a need-to-know guy.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with it, unless it really affects the Hiroshi, also known as money,
cash,
or my family.
Yes.
Other than that, go nuts. Okay, things are crazy here.
Okay, that was my fault. That was an extra button.
Jake Maier signs of what we kind of figured. These are reports. I don't even know if Coach Mace is going to talk about it because the Riders haven't released it yet. These are reports. Farhan Lalji had it. Then one of our crack reporters on the sportscage.com, he threw it up there. So reports are a 1-year deal. Really not a surprise.
No, and it's where it's a good move for the Riders. It gives them some depth at quarterback and especially at backup if we assume Trevor Harris is going to make the year. More importantly, it gives somebody that's familiar with Coach Mueller that they've worked together before, and they're going to have some feedback back and forth between each other to have some more success. I think it's a good move. I don't think it necessarily spells the end or otherwise for anybody else in the organization. Jake's still got to come in and be healthy, play well, earn his spot. He doesn't get that automatically. He just has an opportunity to come here and earn that job.
What's going to happen with Shea Patterson? What's going to happen with Jay Cohn? And
again, like I say, you got to show up and play, right? You can't make the club in the tub or sitting in the sauna trying to lose 40 pounds. So, it depends who shows up ready to play and what kind of shape they're in and who's going to get the chance to play and do their best.
Can't make the club in the tub. Where did that originate? Was it Luke? The first time I've ever heard it, and I'm sure it wasn't Luke.
Could have been.
I'm sure he heard it from someone else, but I like that saying. That should be a T-shirt.
It's true. For any sport, you're sitting in the whirlpool all the time trying to ice down injuries. You can't play, and if you can't play, you're not there.
Also known as a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
I was talking to a minor hockey coach the other day, and it was funny. I was like, "Hey, how's so and so playing?" Playing pretty good. He's always sick. And I said, yeah, because that's the thing when it comes to minor hockey. And I'm not going to say coaches pick their teams on this because coaches aren't that crazy and fickle. But if you got a kid, and let's say you're getting into competitive hockey, and that kid, let's say we're 13, 14, 15 years old. That kid has 2 siblings at home that are in some sort of preschool or some sort of daycare. Heads up.
Heavy germ environment.
That 13, 14, 15-year-old will be sick a lot. Just letting you know.
There's no way to avoid it in those places. It's everywhere.
Because the little mutants bringing home everything.
Yeah.
And everyone's getting sick. Yeah, so you'll have runny nose kid all year long on your team, and it'll go through the locker room and everything. Yeah, it's super funny. Also, today, the Riders extend CFL leading special teams tackler A.J. Allen. Just a good one. Talk to Coach about that. He'll be able to talk about that one because the Riders did release it.
He was a nice ad. The big touchdown return there against BC in, what was it, late September, early October. He was a big part of what happened with the Riders, and that's a good move. It's a good ad.
I think it's just a good sign that, and I think Glen Suitor will talk about this in hour 3, is you have guys wanting to come back. Because, 24 months ago, 36 months ago, did you have guys wanting to re-sign here? They're probably exhausting every avenue possible.
They were talking to everybody on the planet.
Well, and it's just, hey, you only have that short window to play. Why be unhappy? That's another thing I say to like kids in junior hockey. And I was talking to a parent the other day, and not that I'm Mr. Know-it-all, but you talk to people throughout 20 years. You've been there with hockey.
Yep.
And it's like, well, he might get released, and he's 20, and I'm like, there are a ton and he's a good player. This kid that I was talking about. I'm like, there are a ton of options. Well, I don't know if any teams around here are going to need him. Fine. He's 20. Go have fun.
Go play.
Send him to Florida.
Yeah.
Texas. Wherever.
Yeah,
because
if you
that, you're going to be 25, then you're going to be 35, then you're going to be 40 and hurt and overweight and
divorced with 2 kids and working a second job to pay the child support.
Always marry up. They should teach that in school. Always marry somebody that makes more money than you, or similar.
I don't think people should be allowed to get married till they're 30.
It's not a bad play
because you change so much from late teens to late 20s, right?
And everybody's selfish. You should want to be selfish when you're young.
That's right. You shouldn't be able to get married till you're 30. Coles, how old are you?
28 this year.
Still too young.
How come I'm the only one on the camera?
Everybody else.
People want to see your faces.
We're all here.
We're all here. Okay.
I got it.
All right. I don't think you should be able to get married till you're 30. Enjoy life.
I don't.
Find out who you are.
I am one of the. I'd be waving that flag for you all day long.
I made the mistake.
Did you?
Oh.
Are you still with her?
Oh, are you kidding? I don't even know where she is. Any luck? The devil and her are sitting down having coffee. They probably are. I'm not going to lie to you. They probably are. Those who know who she is are confirmed that she's having devil in the coffee.
There's hey, I'm only hearing one side of the story. I'm going to have to talk to this lady or person. There's always, I think everybody had that buddy in high school, friend, and they got married really early, and then a lot of them had children, and now their kids are like in their 35, and it's like, what? Like that would be, it would always be really cool, I thought, because you can be so youthful with your kids.
You can.
And there are people out there, don't get me wrong, like my brother-in-law's in his 50s, and he is got ADD, and he's a doctor. You would never know it by talking to him. And he goes 1,000 miles. He runs the kids tired. Like Roman, he'll be like at the lake. He'll be like, oh, man, I just want to take a break. Uncle D's got me going everywhere. And it's like, yeah, man, he's like 55 or whatever he is. It's a lot. It's a grind out there. Yeah. So Getting married, I agree. 30 is a good age. Sorry out there, everybody, all you wedding planners. It's a good thing.
It is,
You're
'cause they got more money.
You get to double dip.
They got more money.
That's why you build that relationship. It's a relationship sale. When you have the young marriage, you stay friends with them.
Yeah, because you know they're having a second one.
Facebook friends, all these kind of friends. You be tight with them. Send them something every year.
Yeah, here's a Christmas card.
Did you hear? Yeah. Rick and I broke up. Oh, well,
shocker.
That's too bad. I'm here for you, whatever you need.
What date are you looking for?
Sale.
27.
Sale. You better book early. Well, and then you can introduce. You can set people up. That's a whole other thing. Setting people up. And Regina, Saskatoon, Moose Jaw, Swift, wherever you're listening from right now. Let's be honest. We live in small towns. Like, what's the biggest city you ever lived in?
Regina.
Yeah. Like, I had a chance to live in a couple of bigger ones. And some smaller ones.
I've lived in smaller places. Yeah.
Oh, the smaller ones. There's some stuff that you can't unsee.
No.
And it's like, did I just see that? I know him, and she was with. I can't see that.
I can't watch
I shouldn't be seeing that. I'm just gonna go home now.
I can't tell anybody I saw that.
I'm going home to watch North of 60. That was my thing in Swift Current. I watched North of 60 every day.
Did you have more than 2 channels?
Oh, yeah, we had all the channels. I loved that show.
Okay.
Watched it front to back. It's actually, and like all kidding aside, that is one of the best Canadian TV shows ever made.
Should we send that to Donald Trump? Since we're way off sports topics already
political.
today, let's really get nuts.
Talking about getting married at 30 and then going down that are two different things. Because guaranteed we're going to have someone join the text line.
Yeah.
Is this a sports show? Have you tuned into any sports shows in the last 20 years? They kind of talk about everything. It's just like morning rock stations talk about sports.
You get off track.
No, it's life. People want to talk about life. They just don't want to hear. It's like, and here's we're gonna interview the backup punter from the Montreal Alouettes. Who gives a rip?
This is this guy's 5 minutes of
his
glory.
His parents don't even care.
They're not even listening.
There's a lot to it. No, but Jake Mayer in the fold. Allegedly, reports say, with our Saskatchewan Roughriders. I think everybody knew that was going to happen. Corey Mace coming up here in a bit. Hockey-wise, do we want to go? Let's go. I want to get Sharky. You haven't heard this yet. Can we go UCLA?
Okay.
I forget his name already. Colson, head coach. This is head coach of UCLA's
hockey team.
No. Speaking of LA,
yeah,
scary down there. What's going on? Like I feel people are like losing $20-30 million houses.
Yeah, there's no doubt it's a horrific situation in Los Angeles, and nothing but the best wish for everybody involved.
When Arash joins, I'm wondering if the NFL game could be in jeopardy.
Yeah, I've heard they've got a plan, but. They don't want to throw it into implementation.
Okay, here's the clip.
But we don't play. We're soft. So don't tell me you want to win. Like, just don't tell me you want to win. So don't tell me you want to win. It's crazy, and it's every day. I'm tired of it. It's every day. I have the most energy of anybody at practice every day. I'm upset with everybody in that locker room, my assistant coaches and my players. I mean, I don't need to do anything else. I almost got 500 wins. I'm only 53. I mean, it's a joke. It's a joke. But yet I come in and I have more passion and energy and pride than everybody in. That's the problem. So what the truth of it has been, it's really hard to coach people that are delusional. The hungry dog gets the bone. We got guys that think they're way better than they are. They're nice kids. They're completely delusional about who they are.
Mick Cronin, forgot his name. And it was an interesting, a unique basketball coach. Your take on that? Former coach from the old school, though.
He is?
No, you too.
Well, without a doubt, yeah. When I was in high school, Alex Smith was a football coach, Tom Collegiate. Went on to coach with the Rams and the Riders. And Alex Coach had this speech he used to give us before games in high school. And the effect is something to this. If you want to win, but only hope to win, you won't. If you
Say that again?
If you want to win and hope to win, you won't. If you want to win but don't prepare to win, you won't.
You won't.
If you want to win but don't practice to win, you won't. Right? The simple matter is, if you want to win, you have to do everything that you can to prepare to be ready to win. And whatever that, whether it's a practice, whether it's your nutrition, whether it's your conditioning, whatever the case might be, if you want to win, you have to prepare to win. And if you don't do that, you won't.
I think it is such a throwback. And then part of me wonders if we will ever kind of go back to that a bit, because we are a soft society and we are raising somewhat soft kids.
Very soft
and
kids.
We're coaching them soft. Hey, and I've been guilty. Mrs. S and I get into this once in a while where she'll be like, "You're being so hard on them." And I'm like, "Are you insane? Like, you have no idea what hard is." From what I saw as a kid, from what I dealt with as a kid, to what I still see with some coaches, parents on, like, there's lunatics, and then I think there's a happy medium there. And you have to, like, there's gotta be, who was I talking to? We interviewed somebody on the Monday Nooner, and they said, yeah, like, NHL player. It's like, I needed that kick in the rear end, and my dad would give it to me. You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes maybe a little bit too much, but it was great. And then there's some that they'll talk like, yeah, you know, my dad never did anything, and I was unbelievable, and I made it, and all that. And I'm like, you're the outlier. Yeah.
And not true. Something happened to you along the way. Somebody inspired something in you along the way to make that happen.
I love when the mums come from an athletic background and they know what it takes.
Yes.
There is nothing better than having, and my wife is very similar to that. She played high-end soccer. She knows sport, and she's a leader. Like,
yeah,
right. But it was a few years ago, and this mom was a high-end athlete at one point, and how she talked, and I was like, whoa, that kid's got, like, that is pretty cool.
He's got 1,000 more opportunities because he's going to leapfrog other kids she is going to leapfrog other kids along the way. So you talked about lunatics. The lunatic line moves depending on the parent and the coach, right? So some parents have lunatic lines really low. In other words, you can cross it with one yell on the bench, and the other one it's really high, where you have to get thrown out 3 nights in a row to be regarded as a lunatic. So the lunatic line moves. I would be very careful how you use that term in terms of describing a coach, because it's viewed on what the parent sees. But I will say this, if you stay consistent with whatever you're preaching and however you're preaching it, that's the line, right? That's the line. And when you start changing that, that's when people can't figure out where to go or how to play or what to do. But we are raising an incredible group of when I started playing, you didn't have to wear a helmet. Now they're little gladiators and they're wondering why they're hurt, right?
Hey, if we're talking hockey, the game moves so fast now.
It does.
It's beyond. But I'm in sports in general, and I always said, and I have. I've talked to Mike Thomas about it. I've coached a youth flag football for, I don't know, how old am I now? It's almost 9 years.
Okay.
That's a long time, and I love it. And all, but it was so hard coaching at that 4, 5, 6, 7, even 8, 9, and especially that because it's all learning and it's fun and all that. But you get to a point where it's like, okay, like your kid doesn't want to be here.
Exactly.
And then all that is then it is screwing everything up for everyone that wants to be here.
Yep.
Or the parent, and there's baseball, there is the parent that just drops them off and then goes and hangs out at the bar.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And it's like babysitting. And it's like, screw you. And
especially when the kid isn't participating or doesn't care.
No, we could go 8 hours on this, but we got to take a break because we got to get to Coach Mace.
I love this conversation. I look forward to it.
It's the All New SportsCage. We're streaming at sportscage.com, and we are on the home of the Rider, 620 CKRM. Yeah, the whole marriage conversation, text line blowing up. The one married at 24, married to the game at 14. I won't say who that was from. Chose
the first marriage well.
That's funny. Hey, Canada hockey, women's world under 18. Canada taking on Japan today. You ready for the score?
By 20?
17-0. I don't know what the line was on CoolBet, but 17-0 Canada advances.
What was the over-under? Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
It's too bad you can't go back and look.
It's an awesome night for Western Pizza. All the Greek food you love. Souvlaki ribs, salad, that pizza, that number two, the Deuce.
The Deuce.
Western Pizza hotline. Let's go out. Joining us.
Do you think he's had a Western Pizza?
I guarantee he's had a Western Pizza. Coach of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, Coach Mace. Well, hey, what Sharky? Ask him. Go ahead.
What's your favorite Western Pizza, Coach? Well, you got a favorite?
The first, actually, let me think here. Yeah, it was the first or the second pizza I ever had here. And it hasn't been the last. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, you know what's up. It is.
Love it.
It is so good. And then you start trying out. You start sprinkling around the menu and trying out the different ones. It's hard to find a favorite.
I gotta get in there, man. I gotta start hand. But I'm pretty lame when it comes to that. It's just if it's hot and there's cheese on it, then I really don't care after that. I'm going to try it all.
Smart man. Hey, good time to have you on today, right? Riders Inc. Jake Maier, 1-year deal. A guy that you know well. Just from your lens, what do you like about Jake Maier?
Yeah, man. I mean, just I'll start, as I do with most guys, just his personality and the things that he brings. And how he is and conducts himself around the building, how he attacks what he does. As it pertains to his job. You love that professionalism. And obviously as a player, I know a lot of people, you look at the season that, they had with his previous team, and it was kind of a tough sledding, but, you look at it and you really watch, there was a lot of really good things that he did as well. And to be in this league and having quarterbacks to have experience, there's not a ton of teams that have that, outside of the top guys. So, having him being added to the quarterback room, obviously being familiar with the system, myself and Mules, we're happy as ever to have him, man. And he's going to learn a lot from Trevor too. So, I think all things considered, man, it was just excellent move for us.
You don't see that part a lot, Coach, where you can bring a guy in that is so familiar with coaches. Like that's a bonus, right? That you talk about that runway. Well, you guys are already halfway down it.
Yeah, I mean it is. There's a lot of things that go into fit. And some guys have luxuries in doing that throughout free agency process. For us, we already saw the writing on the wall, so to speak, with that, and try to get ahead of that as we believe that and we're certain it would have been a very hot topic. Come to the market. So. We're happy. I know Jake's extremely excited to be here and being in this atmosphere and pushing forward with the green and white, man. So, yeah, man, good day for everybody. Yes.
We got to get him a Western Pizza.
We got to get him.
Welcome him to town with a little za.
Statutory invitation to Western Pizza.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Coach, how's the off season been for you personally? I mean, it's a chance for you to reflect, obviously, on your first year as a head coach, and I think you did some amazing things in your first year with the challenges you had and injuries and whatnot. But how have you been in the off season, and how do you feel, and what are you looking forward to as you get closer to training camp?
Yeah, no, off season been it's been good, man. The wife and I kid. She was like, oh, I thought it was the off season. We're always doing something, and I love that. And there's the guys that on this staff and within the building. Jo is Kyle Carson. All these other guys, man, we're just constantly trying to find ways to get this team better, and everybody's all in, man. So it's been awesome from that standpoint. Not to say that I don't take time for the family, because that is important. So it's been good to spend more time from that standpoint and getting to see family. Obviously our extended families. From where my wife's family's from, my family, and that's been incredible, man. But as you can see, I'm in the office right now. and then constantly working the phones and being in communication with everybody, just trying to find ways to get us going, man.
When you go down and like a Trevor Reed, right? Getting an NFL opportunity, team releases him. Like, just as a coach, just the words on that, how proud you must be to be like, obviously you don't want to lose a guy, but hey, it's the league, right? It's the NFL. Go and get it, as you would say.
Exactly. And you kind of wish that opportunity is there for everybody, but they're going to pick who they want. And certainly in situations like that, a young man, Trevor, 24 years old, young buck, athletically, he's one of the biggest freaks I've ever seen. So I'm not shocked, that he's going to get this opportunity. So you're elated for those guys and at the potential of being able to carve out a career for themselves, still playing the game that they love. That I know that, he really enjoyed his time here. But, just what it potentially could bring for him and his family moving forward, if it's something that works out for him down there, you're happy for those guys from that standpoint. But like I said, man, there's so many guys that you wish could have, certain opportunities, but a lot of guys do have that opportunity prior to coming up here. But, the guys that are here, they know what it's all about, specifically in this building. And, I know guys are itching to get back here. So we wish him nothing but the absolute best, man. I know all these guys will be watching anyway, cheering for us. So it's good in all parties.
You talk about, Jeremy and J.O. and working over you guys get Brandon Kemp from the Tiger Cats on the offensive line. What do you like about bringing him in?
Yeah, just another massive man. He's huge. And again, for that position specifically, when you look at our season, unfortunately was a position that was just decimated for us, the offensive line. So, we'll do our due diligence in trying to find as many people possible to compete with Brandon as just having, the experience playing and starting a bunch of games in this league. That speaks volumes to have that kind of depth. And, it's the reality of the game and really pro sports in general, but, as specific to football, is injuries are inevitable. So the next man mentality I know lives in every building, really. But if your next man's, played a bunch of football at this level, it certainly helps. So having that depth piece and a chance to come in and compete in camp, I know he's excited. I know we are as well. So another solid one for us.
You opened up the discussion around the offensive line and the injuries you had last year. And my God, I don't know what was it, 13 or 14 guys played on the offensive line last year. I don't know what the old record was, but that definitely has to be the new one.
I think coach was close to playing at one point.
Yeah.
Never.
Not counting defensive linemen that came over. Yeah. How's that group looking? Like, what are some guys coming back? Is there like Jamarcus Hardrick, Philip Blake, like who's maybe in trouble? Who's hurt? Who's still hurt? Who's healthy? Where are we at there?
Yeah, no. So a lot of guys that we're dealing. This is always kind of the gift and the curse of injuries, is timing of when they happen. Guys like Hardrick. Yosh went down early in the season. You lose him for the year, and that's really unfortunate to have to go through a season without a player of that caliber. But the plus side is, going into the next season that he's going to be, back at full strength. So we're looking forward to those guys who are really been working their tails off to rehab to get back to this point. Again, we're going to go through the free agency process. We're still working before we get to that point, is trying to re-sign guys. So, man, it's going to be a position of strength, in my opinion, just because so many guys were asked to step up and play. Extremely proud of the young bucks, who may have started on the PR, it had never taken a snap. We had guys come in who were with the team for a few days, that ended up playing. But it's incredible experience for those guys. And I think overall building the trust in the room. And I can't do nothing but tip my cap, to J.O. and Kyle and those guys bringing in new talent, but also in Coach Harrison, being a first-time O-line coach, being able to manage all that. Man, it's special. We joke around and call him the coach of the year, Coach Harrison. So,
should be, yeah. He should be.
And he's a great guest on the cage too. Absolute beauty.
Yeah. Oh, he's awesome.
Yeah, as we recall. Kate, the word is, and people are freaking out. I'm freaking out. Colson wants to book some holidays here. No CFL schedule yet. Like, we're getting late here. Now for you, and maybe there's some inside, you don't have to, behind the curtain stuff, you don't have to say that you guys kind of know for the most part. But as a head coach of the team, like, does it affect you that much having it here now into the second week of January? We might not even know.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I know all the other coaches are kind of sitting in the same position as myself. Is, just from a scheduling standpoint, we like to get ahead of stuff, trying to schedule our training camp stuff, which you can't really do until your preseason games are going. And we like to, get ahead and start self-scouting and looking at scouting different opponents and trying to anticipate who we're going to be seeing early in the season. And kind of tough to do that without a schedule, but hey, we're all in the same boat. So when they drop that thing, we'll be ready to rock.
Okay, I want to let's shift away from the Riders, have some fun here, and everyone's going to get to know Coach Mace and the generic questions. But I gotta say, as a football coach, your initial thoughts when you hear Bill Belichick's going to be coaching college at UNC?
Yeah, I was a little shocked, just to all my buddies who coach in college and understand the requirements that comes with that outside of football. But it's interesting. I was actually listening to somebody sent me some kind of, maybe Mueller, I don't know, sent me some kind of podcast and talking, and really the landscape of college football really isn't that much different than, what Bill's used to probably in the NFL and dealing with agents. They have general managers at colleges now, and all these agents he's talking to represent these kids that he's been he's been talking to these guys when dealing with their pro players too. So is he going to be on the phones calling? I don't know that. I don't know that stuff, but I do know it's an intriguing place, I would assume, for a lot of guys to want to go if they do want to take that next step to become a professional, than to learn from Belichick. I mean, what else are we talking about here? So, surprised, but still pretty cool.
It's really interesting, right? Because even from when you were down there playing, coaching, all that, because now it's like, okay, I'm going to go give this a shot. If you don't like it, you just go to the transfer portal and you're out.
You're gone.
Yeah, it's free agency. It's crazy, but I mean that's the landscape, man. And I think some teams. You can complain about it, which I totally get that aspect of it, but you gotta, in life, you gotta adapt and conquer. And I think a lot of teams are doing that. And certainly, I think Notre Dame's a team exactly that. You know what I mean? They're in there swinging and playing down south football with the Georgias of the world. You know what I mean? I think before that kind of wasn't their wheelhouse, but I think a little bit of the things that they identified in the transfer portal helped them. So, there's some benefits to it as well, for sure.
What's your take so far on the college football playoff and how it's gone?
Yeah, I think it's been interesting. There's I had wished, some of the smaller schools, man, I wish they did it to kind of solidify,
ASU, right? ASU.
And that was a good game. And not even that, I would have liked to see Boise put on a great show, but I'm just happy that there's football still rolling, and certainly watching college football at this standpoint, there's some really good teams, some really good players out there, some excellent coaches, and the anticipation, whether however many teams that start in the playoff to where we're down to the Final Four, is it's exciting, man. Looking forward to it.
I can't remember. I think I asked you this first time we talked who your NFL team was. I can't remember. But we're starting the NFL playoffs here this weekend. What does Coach Mace think about the playoffs? Or do you maybe have a dark horse coming out of either conference?
Yeah, I got to say, there's a lot of teams that, as us as coaches, you watch and see if we can just pick up stuff. And then there's some casual stuff that you just watch kind of as a fan. You try to anyway. But growing up, I was a big Chargers fan, so really happy about those guys and the season that they've had to this point. And then I always just keep an eye on the old Bills anyway. So, it's going to be a good one. I think there's going to be a lot of good matchups. It'll be fun to see Pittsburgh and Baltimore, I think, go at it again. There's some good matchups out there, man. Yeah. So again, it's football. We're watching football still. Can't be upset.
That Pittsburgh-Baltimore matchup is kind of like the Riders playing the Bombers.
It is.
The CFL. It's right. Like, oh, here they go again. They gotta go again. And I think your Chargers, if they win this weekend, it was a hot take I had the other day on the show. I think they can knock off these Chiefs. I think just Harbaugh, and playing them again, the whole divisional thing, and
we'll see, man. I don't know. It's the Chiefs. They're not an anomaly to me. They find ways to win. They do it different ways, and to me, that's just the team understanding of how they're going to win, and the coaches understanding how they're going to win and putting a plan together. So, are they the Chiefs of old? I don't know, but they're certainly winning like they were, or they have been. So. We'll see, man. But yeah, the Chargers do an excellent job of controlling the football and not turning it over a ton. And it's exciting. Trust me, being a Chargers fan for a long time, this is an exciting one.
Would you have watched much? I don't even know. Do you watch much hockey? Would you have watched the World Juniors?
I did. I caught. Unfortunately, I caught the Latvia game. That was tough. And then what else did I see? I saw it wasn't
the loss to the quarterfinal loss.
No, I didn't get a chance to watch that. I think what was the one on who was playing it? Was it
America?
New Year's Eve, maybe?
The U.S. Yeah, the U.S.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, yeah, I saw that.
You watched that one? All right.
Yeah, I watched some of that one. So. Not the greatest games to take, but World Juniors, that's kind of a holiday thing. My brother really put me on into the World Juniors, maybe like 6-7 years ago, and it's exciting. It's fun hockey to watch. I don't pretend to know hockey enough. I know I'm a Flames fan. But the World Juniors, just watching those young guys compete at that level, to have the stage that they're on, it's just exciting to see the next wave of players and just guys playing for their country, man. You're always going to get their best effort. So I love that.
When's the last time Coach skated?
2017, maybe.
Oh, not that bad.
That's not that bad. Yeah.
I was just talking to our neighbors about we're in the process. We got to try to figure out how to teach my kids to skate. So I'm going to have to get me a pair. Not that I'm going to be teaching. I might be doing the course with them. I can only cross over on one side, stop on one side. I can't skate backwards with confidence. So I got some work to do.
Just get them out there. Let them skate and then go through the lessons. Just let them have some fun. That's what it's all about. No, if you somebody, that's a lucky. There'll be video going around. Just Bins will be on that. Coach of the Riders skating. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, it's going to look rough. So don't judge me for that, please.
Coach, thanks so much for taking some time. And we've never seen your hair this long. If you're watching the stream, I like that up top like that.
You know what? I got a cut coming tomorrow, man. So yeah, I kind of let that thing roll. I didn't get a cut since just before Christmas, so I just kind of letting it go here just to give a little.
Let it go, man. Live, damn it. Live, damn it.
You're right. You know what? Blessings. I won't complain. I'll take the
Awesome. Coach, thanks so much. Grab some Western Pizza tonight. Always appreciate your time.
Much love, guys. Thank you. Enjoy.
Thanks, Coach.
Right on. Head coach of our Saskatchewan Roughriders, Corey Mace, joining us. If you're watching that stream, you saw it. I like that. It's nice. I forgot. As a bald guy, you're just like, everybody should just grow your hair out.
Yeah, just let it go. Yeah, don't get it cut. There's no need.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that first marriage was for you.
That took part of it. Yeah,
there's some divots that didn't get replaced.
There's a black eye I recovered from. And
well, on that note, let's go to break. It is the All New SportsCage. We're streaming at sportscage.com and on the home of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, 620 CKRM. Fantastic interview with Coach Mace. We'll run that one again in hour 3 for people that don't get to tune in for the whole 3 hours, probably around 5:30ish. Whenever the sheriff says it can be slotted in, we'll slot it in. Hasn't skated since 2017. I was gonna maybe I'll message him Dave Schultz's email address for skating lessons.
And when he says skated, we don't know what that doesn't mean he played a game. That might have just been he put on skates and went around an outdoor pond.
And Brett Lawther and they're all getting geared up for, I think it's February 2nd for the big
game in Saskatoon.
Big games. Lawther versus the Getzlaffs. I don't know if both Getzlaffs are coming again, but it's up in Saskatoon at the Belcher.
Yeah, it's kind of an advantage if you bring the brother.
Just Chris. I was told.
Just Chris. Okay.
Yeah, in
Ryan will be getting ready for the Four Nations maybe, and
Yeah.
busier than that. But Chris is a good hockey player.
Yeah. He's good at every sport.
Lawther, I was hoping to be able to twirl on that this year. It doesn't look good with the schedule and everything. But yeah, no, great interview. We'll run it again later. Speaking of hockey, last night, no games in the SJ tonight. Weyburn moves a point back of Yorkton. The 7-4 win over the Terriers last night. Flin Flon dumped Nipawin 9-2. Notre Dame, big surprise in the Battlefords 5-3. Western Hockey League, we had the Western Hockey League report on Tuesday for Extreme Hockey. The Yeti sale continues there, as does the goalie sale. If you have a goaltender in your family, or you just want to go out and play in the ODR, go pick up some goaltender gear on the sale. Moose Jaw loses 5-1 in Calgary. That's a tough assignment. Going into Lethbridge and then going into Calgary now, like nobody wants that smoke.
Well, that's the death triangle now. Calgary, Medicine at Lethbridge. You just don't want to go in that triangle, right? That's the Bermuda of Western Canada.
Yeah,
that's a tough place to play.
If it was spring, at least the golf courses might be open. Used to be able to pick up cheap beer. I don't think that's a thing anymore.
I don't even know if you can do that.
No benefits to going over there.
Medicine Hat, you can usually get on in March.
Yeah. Like, Sean McNall always heads up a carload going there right when it's open. I'm not right when it opens. A little bit too dry.
A little too dry.
And then I guess Calgary always got Pete's Drive-In if you want a good burger, something you can't get anywhere else. But yeah, big law. And then the Blades lost 4-2 in Edmonton. The Pats back in action tomorrow in Moose Jaw, home to Portland on Saturday. AAA.
Is the deadline over?
Deadline is 5 o'clock. WHL trade deadline.
5 o'clock?
Andrew Cristal going to Spokane yesterday.
Like
that one came from a little bit left field for me. And then Kalen Lind is, I think, the last big name that I don't think he's been dealt yet from Red Deer. That will be a solid pickup. Southwest Sasky boy, Shaunavon.
Yeah, where could he go?
Well, there was room. Like, we had John Keane on. I think John Keane said Prince George could sniff around that. But at this point, and I don't know, like, actually somebody sent me a spreadsheet yesterday to look at who's got draft picks and where, and I opened it up and I almost had a nosebleed. I was like, I can't decipher unless it's on, like, I was just saying this in a meeting today, my regular job. I'm like, I am whiteboard or chalkboard guy. Like, I love skate. There it is. It's big and I can see it.
Spreadsheets no good?
If you got to toggle over a bunch of different columns.
Too far.
Excel spreadsheets scare the living crap out of me.
They can be tricky. Yeah.
So then he had all the picks for everybody, and who has picks. So I don't. At this point, that Central Division is like, if you're Edmonton, you're just saying, nope, we're good.
We're out.
We are good.
We'll take our 4 lumps and get out of this.
We'll maybe get a home playoff game, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't even. Let's look at the standings here. It'd be tough. Edmonton's still in there. It's tight though, right? Like, I hope the Raiders make it. I hope Prince Albert makes it. I know Brandon's had injury problems. Roger McQueen hasn't been able to play all years, back issues, and they're going to rest him. It's his draft year. Yeah, Marty Murray's done a good job there with the Wheat Kings. It's obviously Swift Current. Loving if Swift Current can get in.
No kidding. Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, yeah, here, you're in the playoffs. Yay. And now you got to play Medicine Hat or Lethbridge.
Or Calgary, yeah. I mean, Edmonton's there. They're not out of the mix.
But you're not going to go now.
Well, could they make the deal for Lind?
Well, why? You're not, like, be honest. If you could make the deal and get Lind and Macklin Celebrini, sure. But you're not going to do anything with Cole, with Kalen Lind, just one guy.
They get all but. Oh, no, they got a couple more forwards. I was going to say they'll get 4. They get all but 6 forwards back.
I'm curious on what PG has, because you look at the Western Conference and PG sitting there. Everett's on an absolute runaway train.
Yeah, they're too far out in front.
Soul Asylum style. They're at 53. Spokane, did they make another deal? But they got Catton and they got Cristal. I don't know if they need more offense. Some people will tell me just go as much offense as possible. Colson, sorry.
From what I'm reading, the deadline is 7 p.m. our time.
I think it's 5 o'clock our time, 6 o'clock Mountain.
I don't know.
Yeah, which makes it 7 o'clock. Our time.
Yeah. 6 Mountain, 7
Pacific is 2 hours.
I know.
6 o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're in around that area. Just send it into the fax machine and blame the fax being slow if you're in for a last-minute trade and you're listening to our program. Spokane Chiefs, I don't know what they have left. Victoria's already gone all in, too. Like, there's another team.
They've spent a ton of money, to get to this point.
John Keane had on his social media that as of the 27th, when WHL trades can happen again.
Yep.
Does that make any sense? You know what I mean, right? From the 27th to now, it's like I think there's 30 trades. Unless there's some today, it's probably now over 30. That's a lot.
They have transactions on here.
Next week, I'm up in Saskatoon at the Crop Production Show, and I got some old beauties hopefully coming by from the Saskatoon sports landscape, and it's going to be interesting to go back and just talk about some of the trades in the 90s, early 2000s, where it was like a 1-for-1, maybe a pick.
They didn't trade picks back then.
Everyone hung on to it.
Yeah, it was very rare.
No, we'll trade you that guy, and then that guy over there. We'll give you the rights to him. And it's like, well, what is he? He's playing senior. Well, you're getting the rights for him anyway. It was not like it is now at all.
Not at all. Now it's I can remember in my time with the Pats, I think the trade deadline was January. It was still a 10th, but I remember the biggest deal was Trevor Kidd going to Portland. Or go to Spokane.
That's the Bart Cote trade.
That's the Bart Cote trade, where Trevor Kidd was the throw-in for Bart Cote to go to Spokane. Yeah, and Marty Murray went the other way.
As a
15-year-old or whatever.
Yeah, like he wasn't even playing yet.
No, he was went the other way.
That's actually a cool story. We had him on the pod. He told that story, and then we had Trevor Kidd too. And he joked like, yeah, you were part of the Bart Cote trade. And he's like, funny. So WHL trade data. So we're
going to have to get Bart on to tell his side of the story.
Some libations. We're cool. It's 6 o'clock. Are we all agreeing? That's what it is. It's 6 o'clock our time.
It's 6 o'clock Mountain Time.
7 o'clock our time.
Yeah, because we're not Mountain
7
Time.
7 o'clock our time.
No, we're Central.
Yeah. And just going on the WHL site, their live blog, since Saturday, there have been 25 trades.
Since Saturday. Wow. A lot of trades, a lot of action. Western Hockey League. We're going to take a quick break. News. Arash Madani's coming up. If you want to talk NFL, we'll talk local hockey and the Regina Flag Football League. Did you get your kids in? Mike Thomas is in hour 2. It's the All New SportsCage, streaming at sportscage.com and on the mighty 620 CKRM. Welcome back. SportsCage. Barney Shynkaruk, Sharky off the rails as per usual that first hour. And Colson and Alan, what were you saying?
There's you can bet on an Atlantic senior hockey game here today. Do we have Arash?
No,
that's what I want to ask Arash. He's from Atlantic, Canada. He'll tell us what senior hockey game we should be betting on here. Dalhousie or Ellispagtog?
Oh, that's the Eastern Eastern Senior Loop.
Yeah.
And cool bet. So you came in today about 15 minutes before we started this thing, and you started talking about you just as soon as you walk into this little corner of the world, you just want to gamble on sports betting.
It's the only place I want to gamble is in here. It's like my own little private games room.
Because you started looking up NHL Stanley Cup futures, and then did you do any NFL?
No,
you're waiting to find out
what Arash says,
and then you're going to go the opposite.
Yeah. Well, you know what? He was kind of right a couple of weeks ago, so I'm not really ready to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Okay,
but I do want to cover the senior hockey one in the Maritimes.
Let's get into it, Arash.
The all-new Sports Cage and Coast to Coast with Arash Madani is brought to you by Smart Investing Solutions. Be smart with your money. Call Brian Golly at Smart Investing Solutions, 546-2533.
All right, today, Arash, you probably didn't think that we were going to start the conversation with Atlantic senior hockey, but that's, I guess, where Sharky...
Hold on. When I hear Arash was kind of right a couple of weeks ago, Sharky, you make it sound like, well, the clock's right twice a day, too. You know what I mean?
That is true.
It is true. Yeah, you are right.
How did you know? Yeah, you've seen my betting history, obviously.
No, I've followed some of the advice you've given me, and it hasn't gone well. Yeah.
No, I remember.
Isn't that the worst? As like somebody who's got to give predictions, and then they're like, well, you were wrong. It's like, no one ever said it was going to be right all the time. And if I was, I tell you this much, I wouldn't be here right now. If I knew exactly how every game was going to go down, I'd be about 20 hours south, and probably in Henderson right now, wrapping up the back nine.
Not a bad place to be.
Beau Séjour Senior Hockey.
Senior hockey you got.
The Beau Séjour Senior Hockey League, the Dalhousie Marauders are playing the Elispogtog Hawks.
That's a tough name. This might be is this the Quebec League? It's spelled ELSIPOGTOG.
And they're
I
favored.
have no idea what that is.
All
That's
right, we're
above
gonna
my
move on.
pay grade. Yeah.
But anyway, did you put any NFL bets? Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, I haven't. I'm waiting for this.
This is where, let me just pull up the lines here, and we'll start our conversation here. Okay, so cool bet. Chargers minus 154 taking on the Texans. Are we all in agreement we like the Chargers there?
Yes. My only pause is their week has been turned upside down with all the fires and everything. Have they really practiced? Have they, have players had to be displaced, all that kind of stuff. From a football standpoint, the Texans just feel like they're in a free fall right now. So
You haven't heard, I was wondering if you caught wind, no pun intended there at all, but did the Chargers are they practicing in Arizona or somewhere? Like they're still, because
they're in LA. There was a photo from their practice facility today of them out having a workout, and like the sky looks like the end of the earth. So
we get that.
The question really is about the Rams-Vikes game on Monday. Will they move that to Arizona or not?
Is that what you're hearing?
Yeah.
That's the contingency.
Yeah. That's what they've got in
It's
place.
a direct flight, boys. That's a direct.
There's going to be seats available.
That's a director out of old Regina here. Sports Cage live from Glendale.
It's in the budget.
You could find a tavern somewhere.
It's in the budget.
Let's think about that.
I know a few taverns around the Glendale State Farm Stadium that I may have attended once or twice along the way.
Well, heck, we can go to Scottsdale and just Uber down the 101 and then to the 10. Hey, 303. This freeway system's awesome in Phoenix. Pittsburgh, Baltimore. Talked to Coach Mace in hour one. It's one of those like Saskatchewan versus Winnipeg thing where you're playing them again. You get to see them again. But speaking of free falls, Pittsburgh's a totally different team than 6 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just think about where they were 4 weeks ago with the Steelers up 2 games on Baltimore, and the Ravens were something like 22%. They had a 22% shot to win the division. The Ravens then go run the table, win all 4, and the Steelers just fall off the cliff. And I would just say this, like if Zay Flowers is not playing on Saturday night, which is a massive loss for the Ravens.
But the line hasn't moved. That's what's weird.
Well, I think it was priced in. I think because of the way he went down and because there was doubt from the beginning.
Okay.
I would just say that to me, and I think we talked about this the other day, if Flowers was 100%, Baltimore would have been my future without a doubt. Plus 700. I just wonder if he's back. I wonder if he's back this month. If they get to the divisional from the AFC title game.
That didn't look too good.
No.
I have no idea where to go on the Tampa Bay Washington game. Can you help me out there at all?
I can't. Tampa Bay's dealing with a litany of injuries. Washington's got itself a rookie quarterback. I'm not quite sure how well the Commanders are against the run, and Baker Mayfield might be the best running weapon that Tampa Bay has. I honestly think that's a coin flip. Like, if you're getting points, don't you have to take them?
Wow. This is helpful. Okay.
Yeah. Well, no, it's Like
there's
the
some tough
Buccaneers, the Buccaneers -3, and I feel like I buy into that. Baker Mayfield is such a gamer, and he's that guy that you want on your team. But then I remember the one game that I watched 3 weeks ago of Washington, and I was like, "Oh crap, these guys are good.
He can play.
These guys are all right on both sides of the ball."
So here's Sharky. Take this with a grain of salt. The parlay I like, and it's just a money line parlay because it'll actually get you plus money. Like, I think the Ravens will win. I think Buffalo is going to win. And I think Philadelphia is going to win. 3 home teams, 3 division champions. Philadelphia might be the best team in the NFC, Detroit included. The Steelers are in a free fall. Denver's got a rookie quarterback, et cetera, et cetera. You money line those, you're going to get plus money. I like the Chargers, but there's just no need to muddy the waters. Those, if you can make that happen, to me, that might be the value play of the weekend.
I think you add the Chargers in there, and the only reason why is because I am awful at 4-game parlays. I always do something stupid on that last one, and that's Arash is talking sense
against Beausejour or whatever. somewhere on the border.
If I knew what planet that game was on, maybe
Ipscapigadog or whatever.
If it was a Long Lake hockey, they have some Long Lake stuff and some Big Six, but it's not for tonight. Okay, Green Bay, Philly. You like Philly there? I would like to. I got a lot of friends that are Packer fans. I'd like to see the Pack kind of figure out somehow to upset there. And Philly fans, if you've ever been to a game in Philly, or if you've ever been around Philadelphia Eagle fans, like the actual hardcore ones from like Cheltenham and Cherry Hill, like anywhere, they are berserk, very rude.
Well, I mean, just a few days ago, the Leafs were in Philadelphia. There were 2 people standing there by the glass wearing Leafs gear, and some guy from Philly walked down 6 rows and just knocked one of them out, just standing there.
See, I heard
the city of brotherly love.
I heard the Canadian guys actually took it pretty good and didn't go down. I don't know. One of my line mates a long time ago was from Philadelphia. He's a super tough kid, so I'm not going to go, we're tough. Anyway, but yeah, okay, so the Minnesota, we got to go down this. Minnesota, Los Angeles. Now let's say they move that game to Glendale. Does that change? Do we like the Vikings more? I know you like the Vikings, but with your head here, does that makes it obviously tougher for the Rams?
Well, I think what it does is it completely gives the Vikings the advantage that they don't need to do the silent count. They don't need to have, their communication becomes a lot easier on the offensive side of the ball. Darnold was scattered on Sunday night. It was so loud in Detroit. All that's out the window. And I think just from a football standpoint, because you're not dealing, and it's not like LA is crazy, but just it can make enough of an impact there. I just think that helps Sam just get a lot more relaxed in the pocket. And I think that's where that makes a difference.
How long does the NFL wait till they make that call? Like, it's Thursday now.
Yeah, with a Monday game, I would suspect, Sharky, that by tomorrow at this time, I would be shocked if they played in LA. I would be stunned.
Yeah.
Inglewood, where the stadium is, the air quality is very bad right now. The warning or whatever. By the way, those watching on the stream, this is the scene at practice for the Chargers. You got an offensive lineman out there with a mask on.
That looks like it's unfortunate, but northern Saskatchewan, like when the fires roll, or like this past year when they were in Alberta and they come this way, that's, if you're not watching the stream, that's what it looks like.
That orange sky that just looks ominous. Yeah.
So anyway, I can get into all the reasons why I don't think they're going to play in LA, but I'm pretty certain they're going to go to Arizona. And I would think that they tell the teams logistically, be ready. But at some point, they want to sell some tickets in Arizona too, right? So you want to let people know, hey, this is going to be happening. So I would suspect at the latest this time tomorrow.
Strictly cash deals, just like senior hockey games. just bring $20 and you're in. Just guys standing there with a big bag, a boot.
The problem is the tall beers in that stadium are $18, you know? So
Yeah, no, it's geez, that's going to be interesting. You know what they have at the bottom? If you go on Cool Bet, I was just noticing the NFL wildcard round specials. Most passing yards. Sam Darnold is the favorite at plus 425.
ooh.
I know. Josh Allen's plus 1,000.
For the most passing yards?
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Justin Herbert plus 950.
Like there's value all over the place there, especially with Herbert and Darnold, because one, Harbaugh likes the deep ball, likes to sling it. The other is with Jefferson, Addison, TJ Hawkinson, the Vikings' run after catch is valuable.
Well, most receiving yards, Justin Jefferson is the favorite, plus 450. Lad McConkey, plus 1,200.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some value there, my man.
There is. There's some plays there.
Oh, a guy might have to sit on the couch today and really decipher this.
Oh.
You know what the problem with that is? You're so happy with Lad McConkey having a huge day, Saturday, first game, and then nothing happens in Baltimore, Pittsburgh. You come out unscathed through 3 games on Sunday, and then it's Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Jordan Addison, and Justin Jefferson, the gauntlet waiting for you on Monday night.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, some CFL news. We'll get into Rick Campbell, but the Riders, it's official, sign Jake Mayer to a 1-year deal. Really no surprise, Arash.
No, and it's just, at this point, everybody knows what the situation is. It's Trevor Harris's job. Jake's the number 2. He's got the relationship. He's got the understanding with Mark Mueller. They speak the same language. They know the system. The terminology is very similar. I would have to think, and I don't know what's happening in Toronto with the whole Arbuckle situation. I don't know where Chad Kelly's health is. But I would have to think that the Riders right now, as we sit here on the 9th day of January, have the best 1-2 starter backup combo in the league right now.
Oh, hot take.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean, now 5.5 months from now that can change, but you have 2 guys who've started, you have 2 guys who are vets, you have 2 guys who understand the league and the dynamic of all of it. Onwards.
We might have the best 1, 2, 3.
Well,
around.
Definitely 3.
If it's,
nobody's going to be that deep.
If Shea stays around, maybe he might go somewhere else. Okay, so Rick Campbell.
Yeah.
It's a lot like, I think if you're working at Costco, and it's almost like the guy that used to be the boss, and then now all of a sudden he's in the back with you on a pallet jack, slinging it.
Yeah.
He goes head coach, and then special teams coach. Unless he's close to retirement, then that's not a bad play. It's an interesting one, isn't it?
It is, except let's remember how Ottawa's season just went. They started on fire. What were they, 8-3 or something like that?
They were off a great start.
8-2. And then what happened? They fell off the cliff. And look, you never know how these things are going to go. Do you believe Drew Brown is the guy at quarterback? If he is, and he's going to take a big step forward next year, this won't be even part of the discussion, except Bob Dice is on an expiring contract as head coach. If things go sideways in the first half of the season, is Rick Campbell head coach in waiting, interim guy who's been there before, literally in that seat, and has done the job before? I think Bob and Rick, they basically flipped jobs. Dice was the special teams coach when Campbell was the head coach in Ottawa. They won a Grey Cup together. That's not why Bobby hired him. But if things don't go well the first third to half of the season in Ottawa, did Bob Dice just hire his replacement? That's what I want. That's the first thing that came to my mind when I saw that press release today.
Yeah.
He hired somebody he can work with, obviously, that he's comfortable
100%.
with and he's comfortable having on his staff. There's no doubt about that. But it does give the ownership group something to look around and go, this guy's not working. That guy did before. Let's switch roles.
And look, we're still a month or so, Sharky, away from free agency, so we'll see what their roster actually looks like. But the roster that the Red Blacks had at the end of the season was nowhere near good enough. So they need to upgrade significantly to give the team a chance, give their head coach a chance, and do something more than get a road playoff game and get run out of the gym by the Argos.
So it's funny with kids, young kids. You go to hockey tournaments once in a while, and we went to one this, and it was actually serious. So it's like Bantam AA. Went to Winnipeg. Team backed out last minute, so they had to rejig the schedule. Went all to this. I don't expect this from the Canadian Football League, though. Like, what the hell is going on? Can you please give us a schedule? And then Justin Dunk has 3 Down Nation that, what is it, in the coming weeks? Well, no, shh.
But weeks is plural.
Yeah.
Like, not the coming hours.
Yeah.
Not the coming days. Weeks. So I'm one of those people who saves all emails.
Keep receipts guy.
I'm a hoarder of my inbox. So I went back. So we're going into the 2025 season. Going into the 2023 season, December 13th is when the league announced the schedule.
Yep.
So it's at least a full month afterwards. And that, like 2022, they're coming off COVID and blah, 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 and they were still able to get it done. This is the problem, guys. This is among the many problems when you effectively don't have a commissioner, when you effectively don't have anybody in charge, when you effectively can't have somebody who's saying this is how it's going to go. Everything is just kind of flapping in the wind. Everybody seems to believe there are some teams who are unhappy with their schedule, et cetera, et cetera. But it's just another in the long line of we can't get a stats program together, like his Genius Sports, and like all of it, like a basic schedule. When you can't get a schedule out, what does that say about everything else?
You know what's funny?
And there's only 9 teams. It's not like we're talking Major League Baseball.
Maybe there's a 10th coming. Yeah.
Yeah, we know that.
But it's 9 teams in 9 stadiums.
And of those 9 stadiums, only one has an extra occupant, that'd be in Toronto.
No, there's 2 now, isn't there? There's soccer teams. Where's Vancouver play?
They play in BC Place?
I thought there's 2 that
the Whitecaps. Yeah, the Whitecaps play BC
Okay,
Place.
so two. I don't think that's that hard to work around.
Well, why don't you take the job then?
Nobody's asked.
No,
I'm sitting right here. Call me.
Think the thing that I hope is it comes out. Why? Who was that guy that you never want to ask on a trip again? That had to disrupt the schedule, and he's like, "No, I got it." If I got one of my buddies listening right now, he's like, "That's you." I did that once, but no, it's like, who disrupted everything?
Yeah, it's a very good question. You know what? I would suspect that answer is not just one person. Probably the same people who got the commissioner ousted have something to do with this. I'm just speculating.
I like it. Keep going.
Keep speculating. It's a good rabbit hole you're headed down.
We're listening.
Right.
We're ready.
Who shot Kennedy?
Right.
The guy on the grassy knoll.
Yeah, no, it's odd, and we've had a bunch of people message in, and if you go to our socials on the Sports Cage, people are chiming in. It's like, it's all around weird. So what does the weekend hold for you? Like, do you try and puddle jump your way to Glendale at some point?
I made that mistake last week. I mean, what nerve I had thinking my football team was any good and I should go watch them in Detroit. So the dent that is already in this couch is going to get a little deeper this weekend, but I'm looking forward to it.
Your neighbors. What's he yelling? Run the ball.
Run the ball.
Go to the mall.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Someone
What a
fall?
novel concept that would be inside the tent. You know what, Sharky? By halftime, I might just do that. I might just turn the television off and just go
to the mall.
Yeah, exactly.
Right on. Grab an Orange Julius and some Edo. Call it a day. Hey, some Lucky Lager. You're going to need some
I may have
Lucky.
to spike the Orange Julius if I'm going to the mall at halftime of the Vikings game.
Awesome. Hey, well, good luck. Very curious how it plays out. I'm sure we'll be texting back and forth at some point. Let me know if you see any good value out there bets-wise that I've missed. And I'll pass it on to Sharky as well.
Thank you.
All right. You got it. Thanks, guys. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, Arash.
Coast to Coast with Arash Madani for Brian Golly and Smart Investing Solutions. So much to unpack so far in this show. We're at a half.
We didn't even cover the questions that we were
done.
supposed to talk about.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah, some of them we did.
Okay, let's take a quick break. We come back. Clutch Performer time. It's the Sports Cage. Watching the stream, thank you very much. Hit the subscribe button. Sportscage.com through YouTube. And if you're joining us on the radio, thank you very much as well on 620 CKRM. You want to talk to us, text us 936-6262. We always love the audience engagement. Roscoe is one of our staples when it comes to texting in, and he's hilarious. Where's Georgie Porgy been? Or Hot Take, who's the Hot Take guy? Hot Take Harry? Perry.
I'll take Perry.
Hot Take Perry. Where you at, Perry? Hope you're okay. This is funny because we talked about CFL schedule and scheduling and who's the one guy that always has to screw up a trip or girl. And he's like, was on a fishing trip once and all wanted to stay a couple more days. But one guy said he had to get back for dance lessons. Turned out he was hot for teacher. Forgot to add, we came back and lesson was canceled. Oh, what a pigeon move.
Nice.
That guy, that would probably be the last fishing trip that guy.
Didn't get invited again.
Kellen talked about the golf trip on Monday and how guys just disrupt that. It's like, hey, we got to, what was it? Get up at 6 or 7 in the morning to get to Candle Lake.
Yeah.
And just to golf at 1. He's like, why don't we golf at 4? The sun's up and we don't have to get up like we're catching a flight somewhere.
And it's an enjoyable drive then, instead of like, oh, I got to drink enough coffee so I'm awake when I get to the golf course.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now I got to pee every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CFL schedule. Who's the person responsible for mixing it up? Brett says, really wish the CFL would stop recycling coaches. It's one thing that makes the league look so not professional.
You know what? All leagues recycle coaches. It exists everywhere. The Western Hockey League, the SJHL,
NHL,
the NHL, the NFL, right? They all recycle coaches, right? So don't think that it's unique to any particular spot.
Jake Mayer, if you missed it and you haven't tuned in yet, Jake Mayer signs a 1-year deal with our Saskatchewan Roughriders. Dollar figures, unreleased. What else did we have today? There was hockey news. Clutch Performer. That's where we're going.
That's where we're going.
And then we're going to get into why you're wearing that blouse. If you're not watching the stream, go quickly sportscage.com and watch. This can be funny.
Yeah, looks good. Like it. Where
Clutch Performer, always for Nick's Service in Emerald Park. Your local Massey Ferguson, Challenger, Rogator, Gleaner, and Fendt dealer. You can call 781-1077. Nick's Service in Emerald Park. Mine, I don't know if you guys have one. Jump in here. You guys know I love my Triple A midget hockey. I'm going Pat Canadian 6-2 over Estevan last night. Jonah Sievertson, 2 goals, 1 assist, and Logan Mell, 1 goal, 1 assist. A couple of guys on the local front there. And then I'm going to go one more to the PJHL. You tell me a sports show in Saskatchewan that's talking about the PJ and the
Not
Junior
many.
B League, and that's why we're here. Assiniboia beats the first place Fort Knox squad 3-2 in overtime. Caden Barry.
Nice.
Caden, don't call me John Barry. OT winner. Matthew Steffens, 42 saves in the win. Huge win for Assiniboia.
The Southern Rebels.
There's your clutch performer. Do you guys have one? Oh, you both. Alan.
Look at this.
It's a goocher.
Yeah.
Anyone know Stand By Me? You know that term. Okay, go ahead, Alan.
Okay, I was going to say my clutch performer will be the 4 teams from Regina going to play in the first ever Dodgeball World Youth Championship.
Dodgeball World Youth Championship?
Yes.
Where's that being held?
In Calgary.
Ooh. That dodgeball, underrated sport. It is.
Wasn't it called murder ball when you were a kid?
No, it's called King's Court.
Okay.
We were a big King's Court school. King George, shout out, West Side. Coulson?
Yeah, I'm going to give it to, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing this correctly.
I butcher names all the time, don't worry.
Yeah. Cami Kepke. He, whoever they are, is in charge of updating the WHL live blog on trades. So, going to give them a clutch performer. They've been busy the last few days.
That's a good one.
Yeah, nice work, Coulson.
Good job, Coulson.
Good.
We probably could go to Canada versus Japan also in Finland. Love that country. 17-0 Canada gets by Japan.
Sneaks.
In the quarterfinals. Where's our Sasky girls here? Let's just quickly go down.
Zablocki?
This is Zablocki's littered all over the score sheet. Yeah. What did she have? See, this site bothers me. Statistics. Here we go. Sorry, everybody. Bear with me. Striker Zablocki finishes the 17-0 game. 3 goals, 2 assists. 5 points. Thank you very much. Take a seat.
Probably had to have rest for a while.
Who's the other? There is the other Saskatoon girls as well. Corte is one. What did she finish with?
Did anybody not get a point?
Backup goalie had 2 assists. No, just kidding. Yeah, so anyways, Canada's on to the next round. We'll keep you updated at the U18 Women's World Championships in Finland. Wing Wednesday happened yesterday at the Canadian Brewhouse, but if you're looking for a place to go watch some NFL football, that is your stop this weekend. Or college ball tonight. Tonight, we have college football. Totally forgot about that. Speaking of sprinkling, we got, isn't it, Notre Dame, Penn State?
Yep.
Alan, I thought you'd be right on top of this. 6:30 our time. It's a pick'em. It's basically a pick'em.
Yeah, it is.
Notre Dame, Penn State. Notre Dame's minus 110 for both. And I don't know enough about these teams, but I will sprinkle on it for sure. It's never stopped me before.
You're not going to cover both sides on that, are you?
Go to the Canadian Brewhouse, watch some college football tonight, probably some puck as well. 2 locations in Regina and 1 in Moose Jaw. Clutch Performer, we're into University of Regina report. Sharky, if you're watching the stream, it is your lucky day. Let's go to it. Full shot of Sharky.
I think this is a 1982 version of the
hockey jersey.
Yeah.
They should go back to making jerseys with the holes like that. Like, that was good. So somebody wore shoulder pads and elbow pads under that at one point.
It looks like a T-shirt on me, for God's sakes.
It looks like a tight, like you would wear underneath a dress shirt. Tight white shirt.
It is tight. It is a little snug.
Who was number 6?
Warren Dosco wore this one.
Warren Dosco. Assists from Warren Dosco.
Yeah. Originally from Craig, Saskatchewan. Retired RCMP member out of Sherwood Park, or St. Albert, Alberta.
There we go. What do you got for us?
Hey, track and field starts the second semester with the Sanderson Classic in Saskatoon this Friday and Saturday at the U of S Fieldhouse. And coming back as they go back to classes, men's and women's basketball are home to Grant McEwen this weekend. The women are 8-2 and in first in their division. McEwen is winless in 8 starts. Sprinkle on the women there if you want to win. And the men are 5-5 in the Prairie Division, while McEwen sits 1-7. Women's hockey travels to Saskatoon on Friday and plays against the 2-10 Huskies. And on Saturday night, they reverse, come back to the Cooperators. And the men are at home Friday night against the Huskies, who sit second in the division at 12-4. They reverse locations, obviously, going back to Saskatoon on Saturday.
$5 beers when they play at C6.
Really?
$5 draft beers.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Is it open?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it free beer tomorrow sign up there?
Good
what is that?
question. No, they got the stupid chain link door thing closed. It's like, why would you open this? The place is packed. Anyway.
And final one, U of R men's curling team is off to Torino, Italy.
Yes.
For the World University Games.
Bryden.
So they'll represent Canada at the games, which run from the 13th to the 23rd of January.
I'm just looking up Warren's stats here.
Yeah.
I didn't track shots then, but 64 career points with the U of R Cougars. So pretty good Pretty good.
Great skater.
Yeah. I'm also noticing that would make this jersey as 10 years older than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's old. It's old.
And tight.
It's not,
Sorry.
It's been in the dryer a few times.
It would be tight on me. Kay, I forgot to ask you this. Good report, by the way.
Thank you.
Tell the Sports Cage listeners there is a tie to the American goaltender from that one gold medal, the gold medals.
Yeah.
At the World Juniors. There's a tie to Cupar
and the U of R. So Tim Slakinski, who played for the Yorkton Terriers, then went south to North Dakota for a cup of coffee for a bit, didn't like it, came back, finished the year in Cupar with the Canucks, and then played 3 years at the U of R. It's his son that was the backup goalie for the American team at the World Juniors. And he married a girl from War Road, Minnesota, and obviously continues to live there to this day.
After 30? Did he marry her or before 30?
That was before 30.
Oh, so he's an
I'm not sure they're still married. I don't know. I just know that that's where he's at now.
If you're just tuning in, driving home, and you missed the first start of the show, it's actually, you go back and podcast on this. Sharky says, and I agree with my friend Sharky here, probably don't get married before the age of 30.
Yeah. It's highly recommended.
Data, stats would show... Be immature, be a clown.
Yeah, get all that stuff out of your system. Go have fun. Enjoy yourself, right? Do all that crazy crap.
Go fishing trips with guys that are hot for the dance teacher.
Yeah. And then when you're 30 and you kind of got to figure it out and you got a job and the world's not so shaky, then maybe look for a partner.
And you're kind of tired. That's when when hangovers really start lasting a day.
When you can't bounce back quite the same.
I don't want to party that much anyway. Hey, do you want to get together? Want to get married?
What's your pot roast like?
I am blessed with one of the best cooks I've ever met as a wife. Oh, I'm telling you she's cheesy as it is, best friend. But my Lord, can she cook? I went to an Oriental cooking class once. All of a sudden, I got pho soup. And I got noodle bowls like they just came from Saigon by Night, rest in peace.
Just showed up.
It's so good.
Do you know what? I love cooking. I enjoy being in the kitchen, whipping stuff up. I've shared recipes with you. And the one of the Christmas presents was the Burrowing Owl Winery cookbook. Oh, my goodness. I've been going through that like crazy.
The last time we talked about cooking, you were cooking like pheasant or something.
Yes.
And then you grossed me out.
I'm going to make that for you.
No, you're not.
And you're going to eat it.
I'm never eating anything that you cook as of right now because you'll trick me.
You won't even know. It's not tricking you.
I'm going to know because I'm not going to eat it.
The quality of the product, right?
Hey, hey, have a bite of this. If we go to any kind of thing and it's Sharky made this sausage, I'll throw it across the room. Somebody just texted in. I played with Warren Dosco and Craig back in the day. Great player. Tom in Davidson.
There you go.
You survived playing in that Craig rink. That's a
long time ago.
It's a small barn. Lots of fun. If you watch senior hockey in there. Take a quick break. Sports Cage, we're streaming. You can watch it and see Sharky and his Regina Cougars from 1983 vintage, 87 vintage jersey. You can watch the stream. And thanks for listening on 620 CKR. Back to that college football game this evening. If you're going to check it out, wherever, at home. Alan said he likes Notre Dame in the trenches.
Yeah.
He's gone through both lines. He knows, and he thinks they got the slight edge in the trenches, which is where he would maybe lean.
That's offensive and defensive line. He figures they have the advantage.
Around the area locally tonight, not much. We said we kind of covered off what happened. No games in the dub, no SJ games, no AAA midget, no Junior B as well. Also yesterday, the Regina Capitals 5-4 over Pilot Butte. Got to give a shout out to the Extreme Hockey Capitals. Extreme Hockey sponsors the WHL Report every week, and they have the Yeti sale continuing right now, as is the goalie sale and the CCM Vision Stick arriving any day now. NHL tonight. And crazy that they canceled that Kings game last night.
I don't think so.
No. It's like it's not. Hey, all for it. I'm just
Crazy that it happened, yes.
It's because Eric Francis is there. It's the Mums trip.
Yes.
For the Calgary Flames, and they shut it down. Canadian teams on the ice in the NHL tonight. The Edmonton Oilers take on the Penguins. The Oilers minus 222. I don't like that one at all. What else we got Canadian-wise? That's it. The only Canadian team.
The only team.
Oh, Toronto. Sorry, Leaf fans.
Toronto.
Plus 148 in Carolina to take on the Hurricanes. That's actually not a bad watch.
That'll be a good game. Toronto's on a bit of a roll. First place in their division. They don't get to say that very often.
And I apologize to you, Ottawa Senator fan. They host the Buffalo Sabres, they're kind of the laughingstock of the league.
Like, Buffalo just can't get a break with that hockey club. Like, they really can't.
I feel sorry for them. 'Cause it's just a passionate fan base.
Yeah. A lot of Canadians, because it's easier to go there than go to Toronto, slide over to Buffalo. It's just tire fire.
Thank you to whoever, no name here, on the text line. Got married at 33, been married 35 years, and we still like each other. That's what it's all about.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
I'm telling you, that's what it's all about. Western Pizza tonight. Get it in ya. All the Greek food you love, or a pizza. Call your local Western Pizza tonight. I think this guy's been married a long time. Go out on the Western Pizza guest hotline. Mike Thomas from Football Saskatchewan, also from the Regina Flag Football League. How many years for you, Mike?
Strong and happy all 19. We'll put it that way.
Right
now,
on.
when did you get married? What age?
Let's see, 28.
Well, see, close to the 30 threshold.
Close, yeah.
Sharky's saying 30.
Might have to put in a new law. Got to be 30.
I was 27. You said I was too young.
Yeah, that's different than 28. That's too
Mike's
young.
more of a mature individual. No, just kidding.
I like that.
Okay, quickly, we brought you on here because we want to talk about the Regina Flag Football League. Obviously, Harvard Media proud to sponsor again with that. Monday was the big day, Mike, right? Monday's the day, like I joked at the start of the show, parents, their heads are falling off, things are on fire. It's like, I got to get my kid in. I got 2 text messages. Is Gabby in? Is Gabby playing? What's going on? I'm like, yeah, I think so. I hope so. How did it go this year? Because I know, let's be honest, in years past, because there's so many people trying to register, it is hard and it's crashed the system. How did it go this year?
You know what, Barney, you're right. It definitely has been something that we've been trying to work around, and we've worked with the developers and such, and while we thought we had a solution last year, obviously that was our absolute worst moment and the lowest point we think we would have as a league. And it was really a soul-searching part for us, and not only us, but with the partner as well. And that was a renewed focus that we worked on for months in terms of them redeveloping their system and us working along with them and how we can do things and be better, and also at the same time listen to the parents that provided feedback, whether it be negative or positive. And just like yourself, was receiving text messages in that regard too. And, at the end of the day, we came to a consensus as to how to make it work. And I have to give I have to tip my hat to the guys, Jay and Scott at Team Link, that worked tirelessly to ensure that the process could work. All through the month of December, we were doing things, ensuring all the processes worked up until literally minutes up until, and I will not lie, I was very nervous because I wanted this to be right for the people in Regina and surrounding areas that are part of our program. We pride ourselves on so many things and doing things well. And this was a blip on our screen that we needed to get right. And we did. It was something of a beautiful day on Monday. Parents able to register with ease. There's been a lot of nervousness that was calmed. And, at the end of the day, we're still what we were last year. High numbers, groups that did sell out. Groups that are on wait lists, but again, it was more of a easier process for people. There was a lot of compliments, and Monday, that was for the parents. That was our way to say thank you for sticking through with us, despite having issues as we did previously, and it was a great day and all.
Okay, so now if people are listening, maybe you didn't get your kid in, you want to play, you've heard about the league, unless you just moved to Regina, you've heard about this league, you want to get your kid in. So there's some that are sold out, some still have rooms, there's waiting lists. What should people do?
the best thing is just to go on the site to be able to register. And if their child is waitlisted, it does tell them where they are in the wait list. And the lists aren't very large, but if they would like to, they can reach out to us via our website at reginayouthflagfootball.com, and we'll be able to answer any questions that parents have, which has been great because we get questions from moms, dads, aunts, uncles, grandmas, grandpas, and just general people, which we're able to happily provide answers for any questions that they got.
So great job, obviously, changing the registration process, making it easier, making everybody a little more happy. Is there anything changing to the games and the sport and the activities for the kids or the coaching status or any of that sort of stuff?
You know what? We are making small changes, small adjustments, which isn't a major component to the league in terms of what parents will notice. It's more so administratively for us and just ways to make the game more accessible. The work that we did last year with speech and language builders to be able to provide opportunities for kids with who are neurodivergent and obviously have some potential communication disorders and ways to be able to help them adapt more within a normal setting. That is something that we're improving. In terms of providing more opportunities in different communities, we're looking at doing some of those things and have done some of those things. But from the gameplay itself, still going to be the fun game that we have, the excitement that we've built. We have great relationships with the University of Regina, which we'll be able to play games there again. And the City of Regina has always been really great for us in terms of being able to give us opportunities to use green spaces. And it's one that is another one that we're super proud of. And so we're just ecstatic to get going again. And while it's warm right now, we get a lot of messages is it May yet? And I look forward to another great one coming up.
Okay, we're up against the clock here. What are you hoping for numbers this year? How many kids?
I think we're going to reach about 34. I think that's where we're going.
Holy smokes.
And we're ready to handle it. Hopefully we might need a couple extra volunteers, but that'll be for another time.
Okay, and then my last question, will your schedule come out before the CFL schedule?
Well, you know what? The schedule might come out, and we might name a new commissioner before that time too. So
yeah, right on. Hey, I put you down as a reference. I put my name into the hat. But obviously, you haven't been called yet. So, Mike, thanks so much. Love the league. Love everything you guys do. It's so much fun for the kids in and around Regina. And keep up the good work.
Hey, thank you so much, Barney, and I do appreciate the partnership with the two of us, and it's been great for both us to be able to have the radio station be involved and for all the parents that want to be involved to be able to get the information from you guys as well. So thank you as well. Much appreciated.
Right on.
Awesome.
Mike Thomas from the Regina Youth Flag Football League and from Football Saskatchewan. Again, if you kind of want to register your kid, maybe you missed the boat, maybe you've been on holidays, whatever, go to the website, find out if there is a wait list, not very long, throw your name on the wait list. I absolutely love it. It's so much fun. There's something about that early morning coffee, and then you're going to coach and you're going to the field, and it is so big. You ever driven
by there? Yeah, it's nuts.
Everyone's like, "What?" If you
like
don't
an
know,
anthill. It's like there's
people land
everywhere.
People land at the airport and they go by the rugby field, and it's like, "What is there a carnival? Is it like the carnival time?" It's like, no, it's the Youth Flag Football League. Yeah.
It's great that there's so many kids playing and just getting out and running around and being kids. That's the biggest thing for me. I just appreciate that so much that parents and volunteers are putting in the time to make that happen for the little Rugrats and giving them an opportunity to have a good time.
And then some of the like the new parents, it's like, oh, I forgot their mouth guard. Oh, I forgot it. And it's like, and then there's some mornings where it's chilly and it's like their little kid shows up and they're not wearing anything. And it's like, okay, next time, like, here's a hoodie. Next time we need to get it's so much fun. Okay, so we got back Kim McDougall. Do you know Kim?
Yeah, I do.
Is that Kim, girl or guy?
Guy,
okay. Tell Sharky married 2 days after my 20th birthday. Been over 50 years. Pick the right one. Kim, you should be on some sort of talk show.
No, he's got the big mustache. He would get in the way of the mic all the time, but
maybe that's why he's been married that long.
Yeah, Macker.
Duster.
Good for you, Macker. Good for you. You've obviously got the right lady, and you've kept her happy.
That's tough to do, Kim. I'm gonna shake your hand if I ever meet you. Jeff and Ituna wants everyone to remember it's our grand opening weekend. Saturday in Ituna, the new rink, minor hockey games. All day 50-50, guaranteed U18. You got a senior game at night. sponsored by Repesh Ag Repair. So Ituna, Jeff, if you're gonna, you gotta give us what's the food situation like?
Yeah.
People want to know what the peta had.
Yeah. What's the sausage like?
What are we looking at for a combination plate in Ituna on Saturday? I'm in Kenora next Friday.
I know you are. Yeah.
Oh, I'm not eating any carbs starting Friday until next Friday when I go to Kenora, because I know I'm going to drill about 70 petahead. It's going to be so much fun. Time for a quick break. We come back. We're going to have Glen Suitor after 5 o'clock. It is the All New SportsCage, streaming at sportscage.com and on the mighty 620 CKRM. Hey, welcome back. Last hour of the program. Barney Shynkaruk, Sharky, Colson, Allen. It has been a fun program.
It's a great program.
Go back and listen to anything you missed.
The jersey is behind me there.
That looks like someone that got married at 20. Their room. You just hung up a jersey on a TV.
Should be over the window, shouldn't it? Not like where we have the other ones over the window.
We've been talking marriage talk today. Sharky started the show. I don't even know how he started it there, but Sharky said, don't get married under the age of 30.
I truly believe that.
I do too. And we've had people that have messaged, starting with, or just recently with Kim, that got married just after 20, has been married 50 years.
Yeah.
And that's not the norm.
There's always an outlier.
See, then somebody else, 33, got married at 35.
Yeah.
30. See, then there's people that get married the second time. They get the mulligan.
Yeah,
Then
I'm
they
not a
go
mulligan
again.
as it is.
I don't think I would ever get married again.
Oh, I don't think I'd do it again now. Because she'd want to repaint, and there's no way I'm repainting. Everything's just staying as is.
No, it's not. It's not good. Also, what was I going to mention? Colson, did you say, was it Ituna? We talked about that already.
Yeah.
Program, college football.
Pierogies and burgers.
Pierogies and burgers, that's what it is.
Pierogies and burgers.
Now who's hungry?
Oh, I'm starving.
Everybody's hungry. Grand opening Saturday in Ituna. No local hockey tonight around the area, unfortunately. We did have our SJHL report. SJ's back tomorrow. We'll touch on everything. We have the SJHL report every Tuesday for Southie Mainline Chrysler, the new king of trucks in Southie, Saskatchewan. Worth the drive every time, guaranteed. They got the farewell to 2024 and hello to massive savings deal on right now. Up to $25,000 off 2020, some selecting 2024 inventory. That's a lot of money.
25 cakes a lot.
25 grand. Save 19,000 on a 2024 heavy duty, plus 2024 Jeep Compasses, starting at just $34,945. Jeep Compass, great vehicle for your first or second wife. They're out there. All right, Glen Suitor's laughing. It's always good when you get Glen Suitor laughing. We see him in the green room here if you're watching the stream, where you're going out on the Western Pizza guest hotline, talking to suits. What do you like more, Glen, our flag football talk or our marriage talk?
I like both. I've been thoroughly enjoying it all day long. And, when I think about my wife, I'll tell you a quick story about the only person on the planet that I somehow came across and we got married and has been the only person that would put up with me all these years. And my almost OCD methodology and the way I approach things, I don't know that anyone else could have done it. But I was training before I met and the whole journey started. I was training in the Cayman Islands. This is weird, but I'm training for another football season with the Riders in the Cayman Islands, and I'm with a buddy there. We have a house right on the beach. I'm running on the beach. I'm running hills with the Cayman rugby team. I mean,
what year is this?
Well, we're talking early 80s now. We're talking about, mid 80s. Okay.
So people out there, let's paint the picture. We don't have video footage of this on the stream, but we're picturing Sylvester Stallone, Carl Weathers in Rocky, the short shorts and the shirts that are like show the belly.
Yeah.
And then is that what was basically what we're after here, Glenn?
Exactly. So there's that. Plus when I went out at night, you had the white blazer, right? Like that was like pure white blazer with the collar out the thing. Anyway, so I'm training in the Caymans, and I get on the plane after a month and a half to get ready for training camp in Saskatchewan. And I say to my buddy, there is no way I'm getting married ever. This was too much fun. I lived 2 months in the Caymans. I was teaching scuba diving in the morning and training for football at night. I mean, we're talking about a lifestyle that you just can't make up. And I said, I swear, I'm never getting married. I came back from that trip. 2 weeks later, I meet my wife, he becomes my wife in just 1 year. Like, it happened that quickly. So, Barney, when you say, if it ever went, something happened, then I would never get married again. I don't know, man. Never say never. I was never getting married, and I did in about a month.
Did you? The white blazer was retired. That was it.
It sounds like you had the lifestyle of Thomas Magnum, living in the islands on a resort, teaching.
Was it Thomas Magnum?
It was Thomas Magnum. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have a Higgins?
Yeah. Did you have a Ferrari?
Well, my buddy and I were loving life. I mean, we teach scuba diving with tourists in the morning.
Oh,
and then
did you have to hold them up in the water like Magnum did?
Exactly. Like I was teaching the prettiest girls coming in. I was teaching them how to windsurf. I was teaching them how to sail and scuba dive, and I didn't even know how to sail. So we were doing that, and then I trained for 4 hours, seriously training, like all in training, which was awesome down there, and I had a gym and everything, and then I swore I would never change that lifestyle. Like, I'm coming back every off season. This is going to be great. This is going to be my training hub. This is it. And honestly, 1 year later, I was married to my wife, and we've been married for well over 30 years.
What's your wife's name?
Yourself, all this is missing is a wife. That's all this perfect environment's missing.
Elizabeth is her name.
And what was your buddy's name in the Cayman that you trained with?
Well, his name was Ronachilli. He's Italian, but we called him Chili Dog. And he was the guy that got it set up down there. He was down there on a resort and got it set up. And he just called me and said, "Hey, in your off season, you come down here, make some money teaching scuba diving. Tourists are they're just handing out cash. You show them a turtle underwater, and they are buying you dinner every single time. I mean, it is a great lifestyle. And then you can train down here because there's gyms, there's the beach you can run on these banks. There's a rugby team down here you can train with. I mean, so, and he was a football guy too, so he could throw the ball to me. I could do ball work and everything. And I'll tell you what, I swore I would never change that. Yeah. And I did immediately when I met my wife. And
I think everybody, female or male, that's listening right now is going, "What the hell were you thinking?" Elizabeth, great lady.
Yeah, but love you, Liz.
But then that's where you go into the whole, if it's meant to be, it would have been meant to be. And then how was that call to Chili Dog or whatever, being like, "Hey, Chili Dog, that was the best off season in the history of my life, but I'm going to tell you what, I just screwed it up."
I think I'm going to get married instead of do that. Instead of teaching young women to scuba dive.
So much fun.
Yeah.
You can have my white blazer.
Yes. Keep the blazer. You got the blazer.
I don't even know if I want to continue with this segment anymore. That was a great picture.
I haven't been to Cayman since.
Yeah. They probably think you're an absolute moron there.
There's probably a sign up. Don't let this guy back in.
They probably tell stories about it. Let me tell you the story about this guy back in '83.
Yeah.
I had the world, and then he never came back, got married.
Lived in Saskatchewan, got married.
Here's a picture of him running on the beach.
You know what? In all seriousness, I made a great decision because she has been fantastic. No one I've ever known is tougher. No one that I've ever known is more giving and more of a team person, more of a you first, the rest, I'll be last kind of thing. She's taught me more about that than any teammate I've ever had.
Have you ever given her scuba diving lessons?
Yes. In fact, on our
sailing?
Honeymoon, on our honeymoon in Fiji, we went to Fiji for our honeymoon because her uncle worked for Canadian Airlines at the time. It wasn't even Air Canada. That's how long ago we're talking.
Yeah, you could smoke on the plane back then.
Exactly. And so we went to Fiji, and I taught her how to scuba dive there, and we actually went with some sharks. We did some shark diving down in Fiji, and it was Yeah, but that was kind of the last time she was diving either. It was kind of like, okay, I don't want to swim with sharks anymore. I said, I do every day when I do radio. I'm swimming with sharks all the time.
This has been great. I don't even know if I want to go into anything else. You got to have some old pictures, Glenn. You got to send us of your time in the Cayman Islands, and then he goes to Fiji for his honeymoon.
How many rum cakes did you eat when you were in the Caymans?
Oh yeah, and the live music and the food and just beautiful little tax haven is what it was.
Who's the Cayman? Is that big Jamaican? Or?
No, it's Britain. It's Great Britain.
So what the culture would be similar to, like, I've been to the Dominican and I've been to Jamaica.
Yeah, anything it would be similar to Jamaica. Similar to Jamaica, but very heavy tourism, especially on Grand Cayman. I was on Grand Cayman, so the tourism, big time tourism spot.
Stop there on a boat.
We have some younger listeners right now that are looking up jobs
in Grand Cayman
off season. Scuba diving instructor.
Hey, but also, guys, your discussion on flag football too. I love it because flag football is the entry point, and in fact, I would like our league to not only come up with the schedule, please, at some point, but also to lean more into flag football. And your interview was excellent with just the growth of it, and watch what happens when it becomes an Olympic sport, which is right around the corner, and how Canada will be able to compete with the entire world, including the U.S., and we'll see if we send pros and all that. That's for a discussion for later. But flag football is such a great entry point. I'd love to see the Canadian Football League as leaders and ambassadors to make sure that flag football, like basketball, volleyball, murder ball, even, whatever else you're doing in elementary school and high school, all those sports that you do, square dancing, all those sports that are mandatory to do in high school and junior high and elementary school, there should be flag football in there too. And every flag should have a logo on it, a CFL logo. Every ball should have a CFL logo, and all the cones and everything else. And we should help do that from a league office perspective to get it to every single school in this country. I think flag football is the key to tremendous growth. You take care of flag football and keep building it like you guys were talking about, in 10 years from now, all of our stadiums will be full for every game at the CFL level.
It is the gateway. It's awesome. And then the thing about flag football, if people have never, and probably most people haven't, but you can go online and watch it. Go online and watch the 2024 World Flag Football Championships. A bunch of Saskatchewan boys played on Team Canada. Mason Nias was one of them. Yep. You go and watch that, and then you see all these other countries and how they play. And it is, in the Olympics, it is going to be so exciting. And I hope the U.S. gets to send the NFL guys, because some of these other countries, they got it pretty dialed when it comes to flag. And all of a sudden, the Mexicans got 4 people in the backfield. They don't know who's throwing the ball, and there's only 5 on the field. It's a different game. It's like totally different game. And it's like, have fun covering Tyreek Hill. Yeah, because he's the only fast guy in the world. No one else has fast guys that can just run. And Tyreek Hill's a bit of a dumpster fire right now. Yeah. It's wild.
Well, guys, like how about Sam Emilus as a rider? I mean, his how smooth and fast and small he is, low to the ground. His low center of gravity is going to be tough to get his flag. Just think of, if they do send pros, if we all send pros, then you're probably going to see Nathan Rourke and Trey Ford. But you think about Trey Ford and Patrick Mahomes both eluding people and keeping them away from their flags. I mean, it's tough to get a solid hit on those two guys at the pro level in football. Can you imagine trying to be specific enough to grab a flag from those two guys and how quickly they can move? I think an Olympic event with flag football and they send pros is going to be outstanding for the game in our country.
So if you watch it, if you do go and watch the World Championships, it's amazing. The spin moves is one thing, but how they do, and I think this year we'll start teaching our guys, is they run and then they dip down. It's almost like they're doing while sprinting a squat to avoid the It is unbelievably athletic, and people think just they're going to play touch football or flag football. It's like, oh, Jimmy, no,
not the same.
This ain't your dad's Cayman Islands. This is legit stuff here. This is interesting. No, it's gonna be really cool. Okay, so we got a few more minutes here. Let's touch on some. Jake Mayer signs with the Riders. I think everyone knew that was coming. That's awesome. You touched on the scheduling thing. We talked Tuesday. Have you got any other inside info on what the heck is going on here?
No, actually, this is what I'm really concerned with here is that the league has gone dark on this. I mean, I have called a couple of guys. I've called a couple of reporters. I mentioned that I had talked to a senior producer at TSN to see if maybe we were the reason. And he said no, and that we wouldn't be anyway. Like, it's separate entities. They do their schedule, and then we work around it. And when it comes to that TV theory, we're in the middle of a contract, and there's 2 more years left on the contract, TSN with the CFL. So there would be no drastic changes from here to there, unless there was an extra team added, which we know is not happened. So, it's not that. It's not the FIFA World Cup, because that's not this year. It's 26. I'm trying to speculate on what it could possibly be. We talked about sort of different agendas at the league office because of the leadership change. We've talked about that before. That could be part of it. Maybe, and this is pure speculation, maybe this neutral site game could be a blip for a little bit of it. But really, if there's a neutral site game in Quebec City or back on the Vancouver Island again, maybe that's holding up a team or part of it. But you could put a TBA on those anyway.
Maybe there's two. Yeah. Maybe there's two.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be, and that could be causing a little bit more of a delay. But here's my biggest concern: why is the league so dark on it? I mean, I've talked to reporters; they haven't heard anything. I've talked to our guys in TV. Why are they not having some kind of announcement to say, "Hey, schedule's coming. It's going to be." There's been some. Yeah, I don't know. You don't have to make up excuses, but just be transparent. There's been some extra additional concerns that we have to sort out, and we'll have it in the next 2 weeks. I don't know. I just going this dark is bothering. It's bothering.
So is there anything new then on the commissioner situation? Is Randy even still around, or is he gone?
Well, according to what he said with when he was announcing his retirement, he was going to stay on until another commissioner had been chosen. And I don't want to get into politics, but when you say I'm stepping down, but I'm going to hang around as a lame duck guy until the next guy comes in.
Tell stories by the water cooler.
I get where you're going there.
Hey, I don't want to lean into politics there. You can vote for who you want to vote for, but that's crazy. And so, when you look at the commissioner saying, "Hey, Randy Ambrosi says I'm going to be here until the next guy takes over." Okay, but what can you get accomplished? The one thing that should be the baseline of it is the schedule. It is the schedule. So missed opportunities for Christmas and New Year's and all of that. And now we get into the planning. Like, I don't know about you guys, but when I go to, any city, I go because I'm going on a holiday there, and then I look at the sports schedule. Hockey game. Is there a hockey game there while I'm there? I'm going to go. Is there a football game while I'm down there? I'm going to go. I'm going to Nashville. Are the Titans playing while I'm there? Are the Predators playing while I'm there? If they are, I buy a ticket.
What do they got for scuba diving lessons? What am I missing? Okay, well, This could be one of my favorite segments in a long time.
It has. It's been really, really good. It has been.
And we have text messages coming in. Before we let you go, I got to say, what did this Tom in Davidson, shout out Cyclones. I kid you not, my brother lives in the Cayman Islands. Loves it there. His daughter can teach scuba diving. LOL. Yeah, Glen sounds like the new CFL commissioner talking about the CFL logo on every flag football. It's Brent up in Saskatoon. So they like it, Glen. We had a good one today. Enjoy yourself. You can watch college football tonight. Big game, Notre Dame and Penn State.
NFL on the weekend. Looking forward to watching that. Looking to watch some playoffs, and yeah, I'm not betting on anything. After listening to you guys today, you're totally unsure which way you're going. So,
yeah, you know what I'm really thinking at this point? Getting the hell out of here and going to the Cayman Islands. Mrs. S and I, we've been married 17 years. Let's just pack up shop. Kids can fend for themselves.
Yeah, they're fine.
Painted a great picture of the Caymans. Thanks, Glenn. Let's talk Tuesday.
Okay, thanks, guys. Take care.
Thanks. I can't believe that. How would you have that lifestyle in the Cayman Islands come back and go, I want to get married? Come on, Glenn.
Well, that's how special of a lady. What's her name, Elizabeth?
Elizabeth.
That's how special of a lady she is.
Good for her. Notice he's never taken her back to the Cayman Islands. Whole lot of closets there he's got to deal with.
Hey, don't throw glass.
No.
Don't throw rocks.
No, I don't throw rocks. I clapped. Good for him.
You're on your second twirl.
I am. Yeah. I should have talked to the first one before I married her. I really should have talked to her.
It's not an exact science on both sides.
No.
It's tough. We've been talking all day about getting married, and Sharky says 30. Try and do it after 30.
Yep.
So, and then people are chiming in that got married in their 20s. Been married a long time. Colson's now scared.
At 27, he's worried.
Alan, how old are you? You want to say?
I'm 25.
Okay. You have 5 years, bud.
Yeah. No rush, Alan.
Play it out. It out.
Enjoy life.
I'll take your advice, guys.
You get out there. You be Alan. You give the world some Alan, and then after 30, you go, man, that if I wouldn't have listened to the Sports Cage that day.
Yeah, think of the mistakes I'd make.
They used to have this sports program. This moron used to run it. There was this bald guy with them. They used to put on hockey jerseys that were too tight. And they said don't get married till 30. So and I took them on their advice.
I listened to them. They seem pretty smart. They must know what they're talking about.
Marriage.
I'm not giving you hair advice.
Marriage professionals. There's this, kid you not. This could be the dumbest thing that I've said on here. I've always, you ever gone to a marriage counselor? Like lots of people have.
Yeah.
Or just counselors in general.
Yep.
Great people. Hey, if you're a counselor out there, love you. Do a great job. There are some people that just should be marriage counselors that have no training. They're just logical.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want to say his name. I got one buddy that is just I actually got two, and just be like, just talk. Here are the issues of people are having, and just talk, and they would be amazing at it. No training, nothing.
If they're over 30.
Yeah, and you have to be married. There's nothing worse than going to a marriage counselor probably that's never been married.
Yeah, you don't take.
I don't give engine advice on how to fix a car because I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
I don't go to a gym instructor ask him how to fly planes. Like it doesn't happen that way. It doesn't work that way, right? You gotta learn from the right people. My marriage counselor told me to run. That's what the advice they gave me. You got to get out of this, man. You're gonna get killed.
If I would have stayed fishing, I would not be married.
Well, just not to that woman.
You never know. Well, yeah. Oh, so what? Let's take a break. It's All New SportsCage, streaming sportscage.com. I'm actually shocked we haven't got more angry texts on...
No, because it's
what the hell do you guys know about marriage and counseling and all that? I don't. Probably not that much, but enough.
Little life experience for you kids. Yeah,
life experience is so key in everything you do.
It is 100%.
We're gonna get to the Corey Mace interview that we had earlier in the show. If you missed that, we're gonna play that again. Great interview. Talk obviously riders, talk off season, And then we get into college football, NFL, and hockey. You're going to find out when the last time Coach Mace has skated. It's a great interview. We'll have that coming up momentarily. We had another guy text in, got married at 24, been married 24 years. No, what was that? Our friend. I don't want to give him.
Oh, no. Got married at 24. Shouldn't have. Yeah. Wasn't married 24 months, I don't think.
What?
Yeah.
That early?
Yeah.
That's when like celebrities get married and they like get
Well, he's kind of a
divorced like
celebrity.
months in. And it's like, what were you thinking? Or, sorry, again, this just my take. People that get married like 3, 4, even 5 times, what are you doing? What do you
probably
need?
had to repaint every time.
What do you need that title
Yeah.
for? Can't you just hang out? Can you be friends? Like,
Some people need that. They need that attachment.
I don't think I would go for the deuce, let alone 3 or 4 times. Unless you're marrying really rich.
Yeah, if you're married
Every time.
Yeah, if you're married up for money.
You're not signing any documents after. It's not a bad retirement play. Shallow, maybe.
Depends on her health.
It's been an awesome day, awesome debate. Jake,
I got one final tip on marriage.
Sure.
You can lose $1 million at the track, you'll still stay married. But if you leave the top off the toothpaste every night, you're going to need to find a new place to live. It's the simple things. It's the daily things you need to fix.
I gotta shut up. We gotta change.
You got to go
subject
put the
here.
top on the toothpaste or what?
No. We're not that fickle with each other. It's more like stuff laying around. And then it's like, whoa. What about all that? AJ Allen, Riders extend him on a contract today. Like we said, Jake Mayer. Some good news coming around Rider camp. Oh, the other thing we talked to Coach Mace about the schedule from a head coaching point of view. It's like, wouldn't you like to have the schedule?
A little bit.
I think a lot of people are looking into that and really need that. Again, no hockey around the area today. No Junior B, no AAA Midget, WHL, SJ. Everything picks up again tomorrow. I'm back tomorrow because we're going to run the Mace interview in the news. And I think Greg's back from the Piffles podcast with me, at least for a couple hours.
Nice.
Good chat. Yeah. Always have chat. You'll have something to say about the Mace interview because I think they're getting Mace on their program. We'll clear up all that. WHL trade deadline, what was it, 6 o'clock?
6 o'clock.
Was there one more deal quickly that you saw?
Oh,
a 3-teamer?
A 3-teamer between Red Deer, Moose Jaw, and Swift Current.
Who gets who?
Oh, hang on. I'm going back in. One moment, please. Your call is important to us. What do I got here? Moose Jaw ships Keaton Dohaniak to Red Deer. Red Deer sends Hunter Mayo to Swift Current and Trey Wilkie to Swift Current. A 6th round and 26th and a 4th and 27 to Moose Jaw. Swift Current sends Ty Copeland to Red Deer, Eric Johnstone to Moose Jaw, and a 4th round and 25 to Red Deer.
Our friend Damon messaged in, told my dad he could not get married again. At what age? Like, were you in your 30s or were you a kid? Because if you're a kid, your parents are going, pound sand.
You're playing out of your league.
I call the shots here. But if you're in your 30s, and like that's the other thing too. There's just like that certain age where you get older, and then people get married at their, and then people that get divorced in like their 50s and 60s. I guess I'm close to 50, but people get married in their 60s. They're like, what? Just ride it out.
Just hang out.
Point.
Split the bills. You'll be fine. It'll
What's
work
with the
out.
hassle? Who's taking the lift chair? Who's getting? Just whatever. We don't like each other. Let's just live under the same roof.
Take your walker and get out. Yeah.
God, this is fun, buddy. Don't say my name. Hey, for me, 3rd time was a charm. I said I wouldn't do it again, but I won the lotto this one.
Well, sometimes it takes a while to get it right, too.
Hey, if it was a financial gain, it's all right. Oh, so much fun. Okay, Coach Mace interview coming up, and then we're going into news. It's a great interview. Listen to it back tomorrow. Colson, Allen, thanks so much. Sharky, always a pleasure.
Thanks, boys.
It's All New SportsCage. We're streaming sportscage.com and on the home of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, 620 CKRM.